Alright, let's use U-substitution to find the derivative of y equals e to the x minus square root of x to the 100th power. So to do that, I recognize I have a function inside of another function. My interior function is this e to the x minus the square root of x. So that's what I'm going to let u be, e to the x minus the square root of x, which I'll write as x to the 1/2. It makes finding the differential a little bit easier to do. The differential of u is going to be e to the x dx minus 1/2 x to the negative 1/2 dx. Since both terms have a dx in it, of course I'm going to factor that dx off to the side. All right. Now I'm going to go back to my function for y and look at it not in terms of x but in terms of u. Then y is equal to u to the 100th power, which is super easy to find the differential for. dy would be 100 u to the 99th du. Now that I have my differential, I'm going to go back and substitute for u and du into this equation. So what I'll be left with is that dy is equal to 100 u to the 99th. But u is e to the x minus x to the 1/2. And du is e to the x minus 1/2 x to the negative 1/2 dx. Pulling out our nice little algebra trick by dividing both sides by dx. I get these dx's to cancel, and what I'm left with is the derivative, dy dx. So dy dx will be 100. If we want to clean it up, make it look pretty a little bit, I got e to the x minus square root of x to the 99th power times e to the x minus 1 over 2 square root of x. And this will be our derivative.